Okay, everything should have come in the mail and you've got all of your equipment ready to go. There's 5 pieces of the equipment that you need to know about, and we'll go through those really quickly. In addition, you'll need either earphones or earbuds. Those plug easily in to the equipment. Um, you will also, if you're doing yourself, need a mirror, and always a good idea to have wet wipes or a warm washcloth with you. So the initial thing is you need to make sure that it's plugged into a power source. So always when you're running the equipment, have it plugged into a power source. You're also going to plug the Z amp in, the USB cord on this side, and that goes all the way over to the Z amp. You then ask your next contestant to raise his left hand. Once you know that he knows and you know what his left hand is, you put a dollop of 1020 IE goop on the thing, so it's like a little ice cream scoop. Blue sky, so the blue goes on the top of the left hand, of the left ear, excuse me. These are the easier ones to put on, so just go ahead and put the right ear on too. These are just like earrings. The blue, it always goes on the top, and the black for sky, or for ground, excuse me, goes on the bottom. So blue sky on the top of the earlobe, just on the very top. These can move if they're hurting someone. Typically, if you just put a dollop of goop on, there's no problem. So you've got the top and the bottom. And then you ask someone to touch the middle of their head. So Brandon, could you please touch the middle of your head? Perfect. And you'll see right on the Z amp it says left and right. So we're going to start over here with the left. From the top of his head, we go down to the bottom of his ear. It's going to be right in the middle between the top of the ear and the top of the head, where there will be a slight bump on the head. You go right underneath that bump. You need to separate out the hair to make sure that you get a blank spot of head. We're trying to connect the goop to the head. It's best to put a little bit of goop on your hand and then rub it into the blank spot. So you're rubbing that into the blank spot. You're then putting an ice cream dollop on the yellow sensor and hooking the goop straight to the goop. That means you didn't get hair and you know you've got a good connection on that side. So now you've got the left one in. You do the same thing, ask him to touch the top of his head again. Please touch the top of your head. And you're reaching the top of your head and down to the bottom of the ear. Right in the middle there, you can feel where there's a little indent on the head. Everybody has one. And again, we're getting the goop right in the middle where there's clear scalp. And you put the goop on and rub it in pretty strongly into the scalp. So that way you can put another ice cream scoop of goop on the head, and making sure that you get goop to goop. That'll make sure that you've got a great connection. And then you're pushing that in. Perfect. So then you'll go over to your equipment. You will hit, for this time I'm going to just do a quick hitting into training. There's an explanation of how to do a baseline. But for this time I'm going to just start. We're going into the session. And one of the ways to see if that, in your baseline. So when you're in your baseline, you go to the session. And from there you can do a QR. Brandon's helping me with knowing what to do. Once you get the QR, that'll give you information about your line hookup. So we're looking here and just making sure that these little dot bars here are not coming very far out. So they're just tiny out. That means we've got a great connection. There are more directions about that. And we've done the 5 seconds eyes open. Okay, now 5 seconds eyes closed. Perfect. And then we stop the equipment. We've got a baseline. This we do save, so it's the pre-baseline, and we save that. We then go in and push training. From training, You're going to go up to the session. Always start with the initial session and work up second, third, fourth. When you choose the initial session, you're then going to go back in. Choose the person that with the round hole. We're pretending that this person's name is Digital today. We choose Digital. And then we go in and say, okay, yep, that's who we'd like to run. And, oh no, we had a Z amp fall off. And you can tell this is perfect. You can tell that the Z amp is off because it looks like half of his brain is missing. It's really not missing, just that Z amp has fallen off. So we can quickly go over. Just a second, Brendan, I'll wait until you put the music on. And you just get that back on, making sure that you get a good connection. What you'll want to do is go a little bit above where you put the last piece of goop, put it down, either above or below it, put a new sense of goop on a blank piece of head, and then make sure to stick that on there really good. Okay, so then the most important thing is that he's got his earbuds on, is listening to the music, that you're making sure they're comfortable. It's very important that they don't move, especially during Zen 1 or Zen 2. So as much as possible, they stay still. There's no eating, no drinking near the equipment, no chewing gum. You have to make really sure that none of that is happening because it will mess with the account. Okay, and after this time, then you can sit down and we'll have discussed what it is that you might be doing with your son or daughter during that time as you do the neurofeedback session. I've got one more person that wants to show us what to do with long hair, so come on up here. That was a short hair example. Often with, come right up here, please sit down right here. Okay, here's our famous model. And with her, just wait, no, you're good, Miss Brennan, just wait. And so raise your left hand, please, Tessa. Okay.
Oh wait, that's my right.
Okay, there's the left hand. And I'm going to show you again the yellow pieces. No, people tend to go really easily with these. The blue on top. So you're getting the blue on top. Tessa's already shown us which one of her hands is left. And so we're going blue on the top of her ear. Oops, it's going through her face. She probably won't like that, so move it over a little. Okay, and then with her, she has it so nicely put in braids. That is very helpful. I'm putting a scoop on there and then just a little on your finger. And Tessa, can you touch the top of your head? Perfect, okay. And we're going from there down to the ear, right in about the middle. And just, you're making a opening in the head, opening in the hair so that you don't have to do anything else. I don't know if you can, if the camera can catch that this is going right here where there's an opening, and then you're putting some goop on, making sure that you get it on the scalp, not the hair. So just a little bit of goop on the scalp, and then it's goop to goop. You've got a good connection, and she's up and running on that side. You then have the other two. Again, the easy ones are blue sky earring, which just goes up on top, both sides, a little ear scoop. Then you've got the ground, dark black ground, you want to put on the bottom. You ask her to touch the top of her head. There we go. Okay, so again, there's just a little bit on your finger. You're then getting an ice cream scoop on here. If it's not exactly at the right spot, the equipment is still going to work. So let yourself know this is going to work. It's not going to be too hard. Oh, top of your head, please, sweetie. I know you were doing that already, but okay. It's about halfway in between, and you'll notice there's just a little dent in the head there usually. Bump. Some people, yeah, it's not a dent. Some people, it's more obvious than others. You want to make sure you get a really open space. Can you actually come all the way over here, Jonathan, and do a close-up of this? So here we are. We've got this place in the head where it's very clearly that there's scalp, no hair. And then we're pushing the goop right into the middle where that scalp is. If you need a little more, you're just pushing it into the scalp, making sure that you've got goop on goop. The other thing you can ask is, did you feel the cold? Tessa, did you feel the cold?
No.
No?
But that one's room temperature.
Oh, okay. So she thinks it might be the room temperature. Typically, children and adults can feel that there's a little bit of cold when it touches goop to goop. So there you go. You've got a good hookup with her. So thank you so much. Please feel free to call if there's any problems or concerns. Text me 970-352-8873. Thanks, and have fun getting started on your first session.
Call today.
Bye.